Alright, YouTube, David Harry here. Now this is just an update video. I'll try and be quick with it, but it's just to let people know that I'm going to be doing a bunch of videos to do with the iPad Pro M1 with various types of USB C Thunderbolt type cables and adapters and stuff like that. So basically different ways of like plugging in different peripherals and such into an iPad Pro M1. Now what it was, last week a company sent me two devices which I've already done videos on, and that was DockTech, and they were basically HDMI interface type things and a dock system for the iPad Pro M1. Now what it was, they were so happy with the stuff, like they got back in touch with me and they let me know that they had this other company called CableCreation, which is where this stuff's come from. So basically I went through their things and just said, boom, 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 can I have these please for my channel? And he just said, there you go, Dave, we were dead happy with the last video you done, you can have this stuff. So just to be clear about this, all of these things that I have got here, these were given to me for free. So also this video is to let people know, because like I'm always like dead transparent with these things, all this stuff is for free. However, I'm going to be doing at least 6 videos. There's only 5 products here, but there's going to be at least 6, probably more videos to do with all these. And what it is, the very first time I ever used something which is being given for free, I always let people know. Now, obviously, after that point, I'm not going to keep saying, oh, and I got this for free, when it was like, you know, an £8 cable or something. It's hardly like, you know, it's going to distort like my views on anything. But I'll use this video as the opportunity to let people know that all this stuff had come for free, and it stops me from slowing down the other videos from here on in and saying, oh, by the way, I got this for free. And like my moral standards are that I don't listen to anything that anyone says. Nobody has an input except for like technical input and stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. So it gets all that out the way so I can hopefully make the videos a bit shorter as well. Anyway, so I'm dead made up because DockTech got in touch with me first, and then off the back of a video I noticed they did all this other stuff through CableCreation, and I just said, look, I'd love to get a bunch of that CableCreation stuff, and this has been the result of it. They've sent it all through. Anyways, so the first cable that I've got is a USB C to USB A cable. Now this particular one is also USB C compliant as well, so it should be good for like decent speed, maybe up to 10 gigabits per second and stuff. So that's going to be great for various things like plugging in, say, flash drives and stuff like that, or for connecting external drives, hard drives and what have you. So I'll get into that obviously really quickly. Now, there's another cable here, and this is a USB C to HDMI cable, and I've already tested it, and I'm going to say right now, this cable is going to be a must buy for people on the iPad Pros, right? I've already tested it on my 2020 as well. What it is, this particular cable gives you a full height output, and it's very rare to find this on any HDMI outputs or any kind of HDMI cable outputs that you would get for an iPad Pro. M1 2020, 2018, doesn't matter. The same cable will do the same thing across all 3 by the looks of it. However, to get the full height HDMI picture output, I've only got one thing out of about 10 that can do it. Anyways, this USB-C to HDMI cable from CableCreation, this definitely does 4K 60 full height. It's brilliant. So seriously, anyone who's into that type of stuff, you defo need to watch the video when I do that. It's going to be quite a decent video. I'm going to show some really good examples of it being plugged into the monitor, screen grabbing and stuff like that. And then there's this cable, and this one is also awesome. This is USB-C to DisplayPort. So very much like the previous cable that I just said there, USB-C to HDMI, this is also a video cable, but it too does 4K 60 with full height on the output. It's brilliant. So the thing is, I mean, DisplayPort is probably very familiar to people who are like in Mac world, should we say. A lot of Mac heads like are very familiar with DisplayPort. However, most monitors have DisplayPort on, and if you're in PC world and stuff like that, or you're running, say, other peripherals or other devices, not necessarily Mac, you probably have crammed up all your HDMI inputs, you know, with like HDMI cables off various things, and the chances are you may well have a spare DisplayPort input on your monitor, in which case this is going to be awesome, or just basically awesome for anybody who wants a USB-C to DisplayPort cable, which will do 4K 60 full height for your iPad Pro M1. And then I've managed to find another USB-C to Ethernet cable as well. So this will allow you to plug your iPad Pro M1 or 2020 or 2018 or anything else, basically probably with USB-C on, but definitely these iPad Pros. It will allow you to plug this into an Ethernet cable to go straight into your modem or router, so you got a hardwired connection. In fact, this is the one that I'm going to do first, I think, because it's going to be dead straightforward, and plus I use them as well, so I need to plug something into the iPad for me basic internet connection, so I'm going to do this one first. But yeah, amazing, and it's not mad expensive or nothing, but it definitely works. And then I finally got another USB-C hub. Now this particular hub does all kinds. It's got the Ethernet built into it, which is amazing. It's got two USB 3 ports, it's got SD card readers and stuff, and it's also got the HDMI output. However, unfortunately, this is basically the same as all the other ones that have got near enough, which don't do the full height on the video output. So it does absolutely everything. It allows you to power through, so you can charge and power the iPad Pro M1 when it's being in use. And also you can plug in like keyboards and dongles, drives. You can plug in USB sound interfaces and stuff like that, put headphones in, microphones and all that kind of thing. Obviously the SD cards and obviously the HDMI output. But like I say, and unfortunately, it doesn't go full height. However, it could be great for other people. And when I say it doesn't go full height, to be honest, I don't have a 1080p monitor, so it might do full height on 1080. I don't know. It's just that all my monitors and my TV are 4K, and it definitely does the black bar letterboxing with them as well. So yeah, that's the only little downer to this thing here. Okay, so that'll just about do it then for this video. And hopefully what this means is that if anyone's watched this, they now know what's coming up. So you can basically ignore the videos that don't mean anything to you. But as for instance, if just one of these cables, like the HDMI one, is the only thing you're interested in, just keep an eye out for the titles. You don't have to watch the others, you know, if they don't mean anything to you, just don't bother, do you know what I mean? But at least you know what's coming up. Now, the other thing that this is going to lead me to is to do two videos. One of them is going to be how to turn the iPad Pro M1 into a desktop computer. So basically, you know, stick it into a situation where you've got a mouse, keyboard, a monitor, a couple of other little knickknacks, hard drives and stuff like that. So that'll be a combination of a bunch of these things that I'll do that with. There'll also be then another one which will be very similar, how to basically turn your iPad Pro M1 into a gaming console. Once again, very similar setup. However, that one will probably include headphone and microphone and stuff like that. Oh yeah, on top of that as well, I've just got myself another cable which allows me to go direct into the iPad Pro M1 with a USB audio interface. So that just opens up a ton of possibilities. I'll do that one as a quick thing on its own before I integrate that in with other systems. And actually, give me 1 second. Now, I don't know if anybody knows, but I used to be a music producer back in the day, and I know a lot about music production. Basically, I've got this Boss keyboard. I got this ages ago off my mate Trelly, right? This iPad Pro M1 works amazingly with it, and I'm going to be doing something with this, because if you're into music and you want a decent keyboard and stuff like that, basically what happens, the iPad Pro M1 powers this keyboard, but it also sits in a tray on the top of it. It is the singular most compact music creation and music playing system that I've ever seen in my life, ever. Okay, so there we go then, tons of iPad stuff going up, although I will be doing some stuff mixed in with that to do with cameras and microphones. But also there's another thing that I'm going to do with the iPad, and that is using it as a blogging system or vlogging system with an XLR mic plugged into it and stuff like that. You don't want to miss that one, because honestly it turns this into something really neat for YouTube. Anyway, Daves, shut your trap and get off. I'm David Harry. Thank you very much for watching this video. Take care and goodbye now.